Today is the 5th day of the 12th month of the 654th year. Ours is the final generation. After us, the Dogscape will be all that's left, and all remaining men will either absorb into the mother dog or perish from its swiftly dying world. I have only a vague memory of my mother. Whether she was killed, stolen, or absorbed, I can't really say. Really, no one is quite sure what happened to the woman. Slowly but surely they've disappeared, often vanishing in the night without any warning and leaving no trace. Women are the only thing of any value in this world anymore, and the primary purpose of the tribe is to protect the group's claim to a woman who is used for the benefit of all members. Our tribeswoman was taken several months ago. The first month we mourned her. She may have been captive in many ways, but many of us could not help but become attached to her. The second, some of the men began engaging in homosexual activities with one another out of desperation. I'm sure I'm not the only one who realized that there was little meaning to our continued companionship, and that soon the tribe would disband. This is the 3rd month since she was taken, and it's all falling apart. First, the elder was killed over a dispute. It was really just a confirmation that the unity of the tribe no longer existed, no longer had any reason to exist without the tribe's woman. And so, we began to drift apart. I know what will come next. When tribes dissipate, the members alone and confused come to depend on the mother dog for sex in much the same way they do for food, warmth, and shelter. Mother dog's sex organs dot the landscape like diseased, watering molehills in the dog flesh. The men find a sex organ to claim for his own and spend their days thrusting into it. Often they will find entrances near dog trees, fucking when they're not desirous, and eating the fetuses when they're hungry. They have no reason to move from the mound. In this way, men forget the world around them and become obsessed with the mother dog. Now not only a mother, but a lover too. It is their everything. It is common to see skeletons, either bare or being picked apart by dogs, their pelvises still pressed into the dog mound, surrounded by their still reeking stench of their own filth. Today is the 27th day of the 12th month of the 654th year. As I had predicted, the former members of my tribe have slowly but surely fallen into a degenerate lives as mound humpers. The desperate scum have forgotten their own humanity. Sickening. I vow to never fall into that disgusting state, and so I will walk this lonely, deprived dogscape searching. It can't end this way. It can't end this way, with all of humanity uselessly masturbating itself into extinction. So I continue, knowing I may end up hopeless, utterly defeated by the dogscape. Today is the 2nd day of the 4th month of the 663rd year. I found a woman, standing as if waiting for me under a dog tree, her mouth dyed red from the blood of dog fetuses. At one time, I would have been puzzled to see a woman standing alone and unafraid, but I haven't come upon a tribe in years, and rarely does one come across a man who is not mesmerized with a dog mound. I suppose this must have been the biggest surprise to her, to have found a man who has not yet become a slave to the mother dog. In any case, it is important not to take chances, so I grabbed her, forced her down, and fucked her right there. Then I tied her down to the dog tree with the length of dog flesh ropes so that she couldn't run. Today is the 7th day of the 8th month of the 663rd year. My woman is pregnant. I have watched over her, protected her from the wild mongrels that still roamed the dogscape. When the swarms of ticks came, I covered her in hide. I wonder if we were the only ones left on this planet who were still human. Today is the 5th day of the 1st month of the 664th year. My child was born today. My woman squeezed my hand, breathing hard, pushing. After some time, the child came, a healthy, normal female infant. I saw that all my struggles hadn't been in vain, that our race did have a future. and I realized that I was crying. I held the child briefly and set it down to reach for my blade to cut out the umbilical cord. No sooner had I set the girl down than a furry tendril shot out from the dog tree. With a whack, it wrapped quickly around the umbilical cord, gripping it tight. As the dog tree sunk into the ground before me, I hacked at the vine, but it could not be cut. Next, I went for the umbilical cord, tearing with all of my strength to save my girl. But the vine had melded with it and converted it into the same strong substance, and so I could only watch in horror as the dog tree disappeared into the dog mother, dragging my woman and daughter with it. I dug after them, ripped the dog flesh open enough to watch as the mutated dogs of the upper layers tear at the child's face. There's no hope for the human race. The Dogscape will not tolerate disloyalty any longer. And so, I commit myself to this dog mound, to truly become one with the dog mother. What a damned fool I was for thinking I could beat this world.